welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing something interesting. Today I'm going to do a eyeshadow palette tag part 2, which is originated by Samantha March and Allie Glines. So let's move on ahead with the video. So the first question is my all-time favorite eyeshadow palette, and that will be from the Mcgrath. This is the Mothership 5. I always use this palette for special occasions like weddings and special events, and this is a great palette. And for the new favorite, I have over here from the Too Faced Teddy Bear palette. This palette is so gorgeous. I really love the neutral tones here, and this palette is so pretty in such a rose gold color, and it's very thin as well. So this is my new favorite palette. And for the palette that I keep for memory's sake, the palette will be the palette that I got at the very start of my eyeshadow collection, and this is the Huda Beauty's Mercury Retrograde. So this palette is just simply gorgeous. I fall in love with how it looks. I really love the packaging, the iridescent rainbow shades here, and inside you have this pretty pastel-y colors. This palette is so gorgeous. However, I don't really use it that much because I find that I have better formulas from Mcgrath and Natasha Denona. So these colors are not as, they don't pack on as much, I feel. So this is one of my least used, but definitely keep for memory's sake. And the next question, we have the most underrated palette, and this will be the Nars, the mini Nars Laguna palette. This is from the holiday collection last year, and look at how tiny and cute this palette is. I especially love this shade over here. This is the shiniest and prettiest shade in the whole palette, and it really looks so awesome on the eyes. So I believe I got a good batch of the palette. I don't know, because a lot of reviewers say that this palette isn't pigmented and it's very chalky, but somehow I feel that this is one of the nicest palette I ever had in my entire collection, and I really love how small and portable it is. So this is the most underrated eyeshadow palette in my collection. And the next question, not a favorite but can't get rid of, and that will go to this palette over here. This is the Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette, and look at the colors over here. It's so colorful. So I find that I don't reach out to this palette a lot because of all the colors over here. It's just too colorful. I find that I love to have browns at the outer corner of my eyes, and because this palette doesn't have a brown, I need to dip into other palettes, which can be a bit troublesome because I like to have everything in the palette. That's why this is one of my least used. And my favorite color over here is actually the Snow Cone and the Aerialist. These two are my favorite colors. Other than that, I don't think I reach out to this palette a lot, but of course I can't get rid of it because it's so expensive, and the quality in this shadow is actually pretty good, just that I don't reach for the colors a lot. So this is my least favorite but can't get rid of. The next question is my favorite collab, and that will go to this Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy palette, because I only have this, and the other collab I have is this Carly Bible one, which I don't love the colors because it's not as pigmented, and therefore my favorite collab will go to this. I really love how bright the shades are. This bright pink over here, and this very sweet pink over here, and this bright blue over here. This is what caught my eyes actually to buy this palette together with this bright pink. So this is my favorite collab. So the next question is my favorite 2021 palette, and that goes to this Mothership number 9. So this is the newest Mothership palette, and look at how gorgeous this palette is. I especially love this violet shade here. This is the most gorgeous shade in the entire palette. And so this is the Huetopian Dream palette, and I really love this palette. This is the second favorite of all the Mcgrath palettes that I have. My first one is the Mothership number 5, Bronze Seduction, and the Huetopian Dream is the second one. And my newest favorite in 2021. So the next question is a palette I didn't expect to love, and that goes to this Danessa Myricks Lightwork 3 palette. So look at how gorgeous the colors are over here. So these colors are really very pretty, and I didn't expect to love them as much because I thought the quality won't be so good because it's made in China. I thought that it wouldn't be so pigmented, but however they are really pigmented, and I really love the shades over here in the palette. And these colors over here, let me just quickly swatch. So these are how the colors look like. So they are not just a pale white color, they have different undertones to it. So as you can see, this is more yellow, this is more pink, and more green, and more blue, and you get such gorgeous bright shades over here. Pastel pink shades, pastel bright shades that you can put at the center part of a lid or at the inner corners. And you can use some of these brighter colors at the outer corner of your lid. So this is really just so gorgeous, and I didn't expect to love it. The next question, a palette that sparks joy. I believe this will come as a surprise for some, and this is actually from the Natasha Denona Mini Metropolis palette. This is from the last Christmas, and this palette sparks joy because I love Christmas, and this palette just reminds me of Christmas because of the shades. And I especially love this gold over here. This is so gorgeous and so soft and creamy. Just look at the shade over here. I love how this shade looks like on my eyes, and I love how this look comes about so easily. I'll insert a picture over here. So I find that I can get such a pretty look using this palette, and it's so simple and easy to use. So definitely this palette sparks joy whenever I use it. So the next question is the newest palette in my collection, and I actually have 3 palettes. So I bought recently from Sephora 3 palettes that just arrived about 2 days ago. So this is one of them. This is the Burberry Iconic Eye and Face palette, and this is a very easy palette to wear because you have your eyeshadows look over here, and then you have a blush and highlighter, so you can get a full face of makeup using this palette, and I really love this. And then the next palette is actually the teddy bear palette that I have just shown. So this is the Too Faced teddy bear palette. I bought it at a great discount from Sephora, and the colors are very pretty, very neutral, very easy to wear. And then the next one is also one of the palette I have just shown. This is the Nars Mini Laguna palette. So I bought these 3 together, and they arrived about 2 days ago together. So these 3 are currently the newest palettes I have in my collection. So we have come to the last question in this eyeshadow palette tag 2, and that is the first palette that I have worn in the year 2022, which is this year, and that goes to this Charlotte Tilbury's Starry Eyes to Hypnotise palette. So I wore this palette because I was like late to work and I want to quickly get a look on, so I just quickly throw on these shades on my eyes. And I really love Charlotte Tilbury's formula because you don't really need to blend them very hard, so they basically just blend themselves. So you just throw on some darker color at the outer lid and then some brighter color at the center part and brighten out the inner corner a little bit, and basically you're just done with your look. So this is my favorite palette to wear when I'm in a rush for work. So we have come to the end of this eyeshadow palette tag 2 video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I do. Thank you to Samantha March and Allie Glines for coming up with such a fun and interesting eyeshadow palette tag. Do like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys again in the next one. Bye guys!